We are back with our Life Diary segment, and this is one of the segments that speaks so candidly to what we do here on Brunch. We highlight and we recognize our icons, our pioneers, the men and women who paved the way for us in sports, in arts, in culture, you name it. And Tobago has it. We got the stuff great men and women are made of. And don't you guys forget. So, my first guest, oh, my. I am so honored. I am so privileged to have him on the brunch set here today. Educator. Yeah, let me just tell you, the man is our boss, right? Our boss. Educator, he's also somewhat of a mentor to many of us, myself included, and also spearheaded so many initiatives, did so many things for Tobago. Politician, historian, I could go on all day, but sadly, I don't have the time. So let me just take the time to welcome Mr. Cecil Caruth to the brunch set this morning. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning. It's nice to be here. I think you all are doing me a favor.
Mm-hmm.
So I welcome the favor.
I think you're doing us a favor by being here. I think it's wonderful that you're here. And we just want to celebrate. Celebrate. We don't do that enough.
Mm-hmm.
We need to celebrate our sons and daughters, our men and women, our icons who are doing positive things. So thank you again for being with us. So tell me a bit about you. Let's get to know the man. Who is Cecil Caruth? You want to start with school?
Oh, yes, I can.
Yeah, let's start.
When you look at it, I remember very early in my life, because of a particular situation. In my day, the boat or the ship used to go around Tobago.
Right. Yes.
To take up produce in that community of Roxborough, Belgarden, Richmond, Dallaford, those estates used to produce cocoa, dry cocoa for shipping.
Mm-hmm.
And trucks used to bring those produce to what we call the depot. The ship used to come and take the things from the depot to carry them to Trinidad. There are other depots in Tobago, one Charlottesville, one in Pembroke, and so on and so forth. But it used to go around the island. But what I remember about that is that they had some big boats, black boats,
Mm-hmm.
used to be carried on the ship, the SS Tobago or SS Trinidad. And they used to take passengers. And I remember my mother had to go to Trinidad. And therefore she had to get on the big ship.
Mm-hmm.
And to get on the big ship, she has to go by the big boat. And these stevedores, strong men, used to lift the women, because these boats never used to come right on land.
Right to the shore,
they used to come where the wave can keep them afloat. And so I remember this guy, this man, lifting my mother.
Mm-hmm.
And that stamped on my mind. Because in those days, as a little boy, you didn't like that.
Yeah, because that's your protective nature coming
right.
out there. Yeah, because
Lifting
that's
my
your
mother.
mom. Yeah.
I was only 2 years old.
Yeah.
So she told me what time that was. It's not that I knew the date, but I knew when it happened. And therefore, when she said what time it was, I know I was 2 years old.
Yeah.
That is my first real experience. And it was so wonderful, my mother, because you got to love your mother.
Of course.
So it was so wonderful that she could have informed me. And those days I used to like to go out with her. Like a string. She pulling me on a string. that kind of thing.
Yeah, and you were very close with your mom.
That's
You had a
right.
close
They
relationship.
used to say that I resembled her quite a
Okay.
bit. So that's one. And then I was now entering Ebenezer Methodist School, and that school was in 10 Chains, right? And there was a gentleman there by the name of Fitzroy Solomon. He was the principal, very impressive person. And he used to do so many things for the community in terms of the school and the products that he was able to control and manage. And he did that very well. I remember the first time I took part in a concert in Ebenezer, because they used to always have concerts in those
Yeah,
days.
those
the
school
concert.
concerts.
Yeah. And my part was Punch and Judy fought for a pie. Punch gave Judy a sad one in the eye. I was supposed to be Punch. So I remember those things. And Solomon used to, that time I was over 4 years old.
Right.
Solomon used to have the choir, the school choir. I remember the tuning fork. He always, and he starts them out. And my sisters and brothers were in the choir, and they used to do very, very well. They go to Trinidad and they win all sorts of prizes for their performance. And I remember one year, oh Lord, I remember one year when they were coming back from Trinidad. That time the boat was the boat was the boat, not the boat. The transport was a TGR.
Yes.
And when that choir was coming back from Trinidad, they were singing. His name was Fitzroy Solomon. That's the head teacher. If you follow Captain Solo, you get fever. So remember that to this day. If you follow Captain Solo, you get fever. If you follow Captain Solo, you get fever, and the fever will never recover.
Yes.
That song was made by him.
And it stuck with you.
That's right. And then I had all these nice little experiences because I had a few sisters over me, about 6 of them were in front of me. And, I was very close to them. Everywhere they go, I go in.
Yeah.
But I did not go to Trinidad. It's only the choir I could go.
Yeah.
And we had some very outstanding people in the choir in those days.
So your school life, let's say after primary education, what was the journey like after that? What happened after that?
Okay, I went to, again, that's a historical thing. I went to Elizabeth's College, which they called Moraine High School.
Yes.
And you were distinguished by your blue shirt and your khaki pants, long or short. And you always try to carry yourself well, because they look at that as part of your upbringing.
Right.
And I remember I had a lot of good experiences with students from all over Tobago. Some of them are my senior, most of them are my senior, but I was there with them all through.
Yeah.
And maybe I should tell you this. I remember when it came to sit the GC O levels, the teachers used to project that you'll get certain grade. And the highest grade you could get was a grade 1. And in those days, the papers never came early, like the day after. So I only knew the day after. And that is after a cousin of mine told me, have you seen the papers? Those times. And I got a first grade. You know what's a first grade?
So you got the highest
Yes, I mean,
award.
that time, Elizabeth's College obtained, I think, 2 first grades, I been one,
Mm-hmm.
and 5 second grades, and then the third grades, about 13. And that school in that year did as well as Bishop's.
Yes.
My parents could not afford to send me to Bishop's, so I was sent to Roxborough,
Okay.
and I think I did well. And then Elizabeth's College, whose principal was Aloysius Moran, right?
Mm-hmm.
They decided to pay for my further education at advanced levels. And so that is how I went into Trinidad and did my A levels at CIC, at St. Mary's College. And all the teachers, people say a lot of things. All the teachers had a high regard for me,
Yes.
very high regard. And my principal teacher was one Father Laifu, about best maths teacher in the country at the time.
Mm-hmm.
He was an island scholar. And he encouraged you to keep going and keep going.
Yes, he
And so I kept
motivated you.
going.
But what was it like for you when you entered CIC? How did
Well,
your colleagues receive you? Did you have any type of culture shock or any type of feeling?
not really. You would have been guided by some people who might have gone there.
Right, okay.
Right. I didn't have a culture shock.
Mm-hmm.
As you know, maybe I should say it was only a special type of people who went there.
Mm-hmm. And you were one of them. let's be real.
No,
you were one of the
I
special
was
people.
one of them, but I didn't have the color.
Yeah.
They were mostly Chinese and white and Chinese, Trinidad Creole.
Okay.
But nevertheless, you didn't feel lost
Yeah.
because you go there to perform and you were performing very well.
Yes.
And when I left there, I came over to Tobago thinking I'm grateful to Moran, and I was teaching at Elizabeth's College.
Oh, so you went back to your alma mater. That's wonderful.
And
How long did you teach there?
About a year or so. And then I came to Bishop's to teach, right? From Elizabeth's College, because I had my A levels. From Elizabeth's College, I came to Bishop's to teach.
Right.
And from there, the government was offering additional scholarships to study in special areas. And so I was one of those fortunate ones. I got a scholarship to do mathematics. They did not have a mathematics special division
yes.
at the University of the West Indies in Trinidad because it was just developing. So I had to go to Jamaica. And that was a wonderful experience to go to Jamaica.
It sounds exciting. It sounds like you met so many wonderful persons on that journey.
Right through.
Yeah.
Right through. I could give you this little joke. When I was in Jamaica at Christmas time, you know, I belong to the Methodist Society.
Right.
Right. And they invited me to a particular house. I'm not going to call the name in Jamaica itself for the Christmas. And when they saw me and they matched my name to the person that they said they thought was an Indian. But I enjoyed Jamaica quite a bit.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it
Sounds exciting.
From there, I came back and I was teaching at Bishop's High School, mathematics.
So you went back to
I
Bishop's?
came back to Tobago and went to Bishop's.
Right, okay.
Okay. And then the hierarchy in Tobago said, as a graduate, having received a scholarship from the government, you have to teach in a government school. That time, I tell you, I was mad when that guy told me that. But I control myself. And I say, if you say so, when I say if you say so, in my head, I'll have to comply. And so it was that they sent me to Scarborough Sec. But Scarborough said had 2 mathematics teachers. Bishops had none, really. And they're moving me from there just on the basis that I was a government scholarship.
Yeah.
However, I went. And from there, I moved up a little fast because I work hard, I dedicate myself to the interests of the students.
Yes.
And at that time when I was there, the Rockefeller Foundation used to give fellowships to mathematics teachers and science teachers. And that particular year, it was 1970, I got one of those mathematics fellowships. And I chose the University of Vermont, in Vermont. And you might laugh at me. And the reason why I chose Vermont is because, I don't know if you know this song, Moonlight in the Sycamore. It was a romantic song.
That's why you chose Vermont?
That's why I chose it. I didn't have a regret.
So we're going to take a break and we're going to hear a lot more about Vermont when we come back, guys. But we'll take a break and we'll be right back with Brunch, a Taste of Tobago.
Your car break down.
Oh, no, not again.
And you're worried paying a wrecker could mean a pocket breakdown too. But when you're insured with Tatil, no stress.
Yes!
A Tatil motor policy has lots of benefits that protect your pocket, like free roadside assistance. That's free 24/7 every time, as many times as you need. Tatil, where people are people. A member of the Ansa McAl Group.
Tobago for Carnival with the award-winning band Fog Angels, Juve and Mass.
You don't know it's your boy Young Brother representing for Fog Angels, Big Bad, Juve and Mass Band.
2 days of excitement, 2 days of jam on the road with Fog Angels, Juve and Mass Band.
Push back, baby. Push back and Fog Angels, baby.
We're Tobago's premium, all-inclusive Juve and Mass Band that consist of costume, free drinks, free food, goodie bags, makeup artist, t-shirt cut designer, pre-party, after-party on the beach, live DJs, biggest artists, 40-foot music trucks, tight security, VIP service on the road, and a decade of experience.
Fog Angels now. Take bamboo, gal. Fog Angels, Juve band. Take bamboo, gal. Ha! Fog Angels, Mass Band.
For your premium all-inclusive packages, check Facebook, Instagram, or visit www.fogangels.com or call 492-9454 or 788-5481. Juve and Mass in Paradise. Play safe, play sexy, play Fog Angels.
Fog Angels make you feel it, feel it.
are back with Brunch, a taste of Tobago. Now, guys, before we went on the break, my very special guest was talking about Vermont and why he chose Vermont to further his education. So let's welcome back Mr. Cecil Caruth to the Brunch set. So welcome back to you once again.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
And you were asking, you voiced some concern as to, you find this going good, it going good.
Yeah.
And I said to you, this is wonderful because for a change, you get to speak about you. You get to speak about yourself as the person, as the man who is Cecil Caruth. So let's continue with Vermont and that experience and what was that like for you? Let's continue there.
At Vermont, it was a very interesting and wonderful experience. Interesting because the professors all, I don't know what it is about me, they tended to show a high regard for who I was
Right.
and how I applied myself. I used to go to their places frequently. They will take me out frequently. And not only that, sometimes myself, my wife, and when they were there, and the two little girls. Only girl children are.
Right.
But those the first two were with us at one stage. And I think they wanted to get deeper into who I was. And in 1975, two of the professors and their wives, so the professor and wife, two of them came to Tobago.
Oh, okay.
And they stayed at my place, home by me. That's where they stayed. I took them around and we had a wonderful time. So they could see Tobago, what Tobago is about. Unfortunately, they haven't come back. In fact, they're all now in the past, the professors.
Okay.
One of them, the wife, is still alive. And she was 104 years old in June gone. And there was never a season when they didn't take you to their homes. And we had a good time.
Yeah, and the social aspect, the human aspect of life, we are losing that today.
It's unfortunate.
And it's so important
It's
for
unfortunate.
us to develop. Yeah.
It's unfortunate. We don't treasure each other's personality. And so there's the benefit spans out. And the students would see what you're doing.
Yes.
Regardless, they would see what you're doing. And that will shape them. Anybody will tell you, when I was at Bishop's, I became principal at Bishop's in 75, right?
Right.
And they will tell you that I was very close to them. Maybe I was very firm, but I was interested in the fact that they understood why they were at Bishop's. You didn't come there to play games with your time. You came there to build yourself, build capacity, build capability, build passion, build everything. You came there to do that.
That's right, exactly. And you instilled this. You instilled it, yeah.
Straight as ever.
Yeah.
And I acted principal at Caruth for a little while before going to Bishop's. Because again, I don't know why I should say it. I was favored, when I say favored, by the principal there at the time.
Right.
The principal was, what his name again? Oh my God, I don't remember his name. Anyway, he was an Indian guy. I will go to class, whether or not I'm assigned there. If there's a class and they're creating problems, I'll go to them and speak to them. necessarily upgrading them about anything.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Particularly the lessons on why they're there. Because many times you kind of getting passionate about that. Many
Yeah.
times you go to an institution, you may not understand why you're there. So somehow it has to be communicated to you, and somehow you have to grasp it.
Yeah. And you know, the passion that you speak of, I know a bit about that because the teachers that I would have met, the educators, mentors that I would have met on my journey as well, were very holistic in the way they educated. So the academics was there, yes, and you know, motivating us and making us aware of why we are where we are at that
course.
point in time.
Of course.
But there was also that mother-like figure and father-like figure, and you had to have deportment. Your deportment had to be a certain way. You had to speak well. You had to, you know, be a holistic kind of developmental change. And you know, it speaks so much. Some of our viewers, some of you may be new, but most of our viewers, you know, I always speak on, you know, the type of teachers that we would have come up with. And it's so wonderful that you're sharing your story today, because I remember we were at primary school, and you know, this in those days, well, I don't know if it happens now, but school supervisors used to come, and I remember you specifically coming to our school. It would have been St. David's Anglican at the time, so it was Plymouth Anglican School. And I remember you visiting from time to time, you know, but you probably don't remember because you've done so much. You've visited so many places, but I remember you specifically, and you always had this very cool, calm, collected demeanor, and you would sit and speak with us.
Phyllis Armstrong was the principal?
Yes, Phyllis Armstrong, God rest her soul, was the principal at the time. So that is my first memory of you coming to visit us.
And you remember that?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yes, I do remember because of the way you interacted with us. Had you not done that, I may not have remembered. But the interaction is something that I never forgot. It never left my mind.
Thank you very much.
You're most welcomed.
I remember some of you.
Yeah, I remember you coming to Plymouth School. I remember it was Plymouth Anglican, and we would have had like a agricultural corner at the time. And so we had the agri corner, and then we had the garden outside.
That's true.
That's where I remember you from.
Anyway, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I didn't know that I rubbed off so well on you.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, we're coming back to Scarborough Secondary.
Yes, as a principal.
Ghani was Yusuf Ghani, and I remember his name.
Right.
Yusuf Ghani was the principal. And anything he asked me to do, I would not do it. As long as it's for the school, as long as it's for the children, I went and I did. The fact that I still have a lot of good relationship with a lot of those students in Scarborough Sec, and also students in Bishop's High School. I want to say one thing, and this is not a chest beating thing. When they decided to remove me from Bishop's High School and send me to Scarborough Sec, you notice I'm going to and fro, and send me to Scarborough Secondary, a group of students, right, from Bishops went down to Scarborough Sec because Dr. Williams was there in Scarborough Sec visiting to give him that letter of petition to let them do not remove me.
Oh, wow. Wow. And you see...
They did not hear that. They continued to do. I guess Dr. Williams did not want to interfere, you know, that type of thing. You know, that is it.
But you realize because of your involvement with the students, your imparting of knowledge and understanding, that they took it upon themselves to create that step, to make a bold step. Because it's bold, it's radical.
Students,
Yeah.
and everybody was in awe of Dr. Williams. People were kind of bow and stoop to him, but
Yeah.
his children went politely. They put their case, they give him a petition. Never forget that.
Yeah.
I
And
think
how you
that,
felt
to
about
my mind, was one of the greatest movements of appreciation in my life, in terms of my teaching.
And that's something that you never forget, because it's so profound that it's stamped. It's like it's stamped in your memory
I don't forget it.
forever and ever and ever. Yeah. But what would you say to the viewers this morning if you had to inspire us and give us a positive word? What would you say to our viewers today?
Easy. Look at where you are. Think about where you could have been or would have been if things were in your favor, or if you did not wait for somebody to come forward to do something for you. And if somebody came forward to do something for you, if you thought you should reject them because you do not want change. Change is the only thing that is constant.
Definitely.
But you have to get the idea of being constant. If you're driving in a motor car and it's behind another car and that car accelerates, in your condition and ask yourself if you've been playing a part or waiting for somebody to play a part for you. And you have to take a chance. You have to expose yourself. If you do not expose yourself, there's somebody who's looking at you and waiting for you to act. Oh my God, I'm talking to you about talking to people. Waiting for you to act. And since they're waiting, recognize it and then act. But act in a positive, not a negative way.
Yeah.
You cannot be a crybaby in this season.
And I love the fact that you said you cannot be a crybaby in this season.
No.
Because it speaks to something that I was saying just this morning. And there is just no room for you to sit and feel sorry for yourself. There's just no room, for that. You have to be bold. There's
That's
no
right.
room for the shyness and the doubt, and you're sitting in a corner and you're not fulfilling any of your dreams.
According to Shakespeare, you kind of find yourself bound into saucy doubts and fears.
Yeah.
But the God who gave you a chance to be here, you had to believe in his words. The words are in the Bible.
Yes, you have to
Read
believe.
them and be guided by these words. Read them. Christ has come. And my priest was saying certain things last night. He's a radical. Christ has come to show us the way. And his statements, his words, were not to say, continue that way. He says, go boldly out. Believe in me. I will help you. I will help you. Reach out to him all the time, and he will help you.
And you say it so well. I can't put anything else on that. I'm just going to leave it there. The man, Mr. Cecil Caruth, thank you so much for joining us on Brunch, a Taste of Tobago. It was awesome speaking with you. From our family to yours, of course, we wish you nothing but blessings, peace, love, and light. And as you go forth, continue with your positivity. It's amazing. It's actually bouncing off the walls right now.
Thank you very much.
So we are so thankful. All right. And we're going to take a break, guys. We're going to be back with Brunch at Taste of Tobago. But of course, our trivia question is up next. And, you know, it's really, really, now, Mr. Caruth, don't answer this. I know that you know the answer, but this is for the viewers. What was the first British town in Tobago? Right? What was the first British town in Tobago? So you guys get to typing. I'm anxious to see who would come up with this answer. So we're going to be right back with Brunch, a Taste of Tobago. Eye on Bago is up next. Our Lady IB joins us, and we are going to have a discussion. The Entertainers Calypso tent opens today. So you guys don't want to miss that. We'll be right back with Brunch.